What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to episode number 273 of the Smark Out Moment Smack Talk podcast. This is the Hot Tags edition of the week where we're going to be breaking down some of the current events, rumors, news, interesting stories, and whatever the hell else we feel like talking about going on in the world of professional wrestling from the past couple of days. As always, I am your host, Tony Mango, and joining me on the mic for this episode is Steven Wago.
Hello.
So you were lucky enough to skip this episode of Raw that just ended. We're recording this Monday night. I, on the other hand, suffered through the whole goddamn thing, and it was boring as fuck all. And now I'm in a kind of salty mood, so break me out of that. Tell me a joke.
TNA.
That company sucks. All right, now I'm in a better mood. Let's talk about some hot tags. Oh man, my voice cracked there. Voice is cracking all times on these past couple episodes, isn't it? I think I'm going back to like 13 years old. I've got the mentality of one, but let's get this started with two things that I got a feeling you're not going to have really anything to chime in on, but I'll breeze by them pretty quickly. It's just some recommendations of what to watch or what not to watch necessarily of what WWE just put out over the past couple of days. They did the My Son is the WWE Superstar, episode number 1, about Finn Balor's parents, talking about his whole rise to being a WWE Superstar and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, it's fine. They seem like a nice family. It's like really, it's a decent way for you to be reminded that Finn Balor's coming back, but it really has no flair to it. It's bland as all hell. It's 10 minutes long, so if you have the time to kill and you really like Finn Balor, check it out, but that's not the type of thing that I think I'm going to be really checking out. Is that something that you would be any interest in?
Dude, I barely watch any of the shows that they've got on the network. I kind of like the one with the road stories where they animate shit, but I've barely kept up on that either.
Even that one, it's not really all great.
The thing I enjoyed the most was Camp WWE. I really enjoyed that show, and I miss it.
That still pisses me off how they're like,
you're such a bitch sometimes.
But it's like, fuck, just end it. Nah, that was fine, the show, though. I mean, some parts were stupid, but some parts were great. The Triple H voice was the best part of the whole thing, probably.
I just loved the whole fucking show. I thought it was really fun. It was just kind of a rollback to a bit of a more 90s product, I guess.
So you would like to see them bring back, like, I don't know, like the karate fighters and, actually, yeah, I kind of want to see karate fighters. I was going to use that as like a negative thing, but I'm like, yeah, you know, that was kind of fun. I like that.
I don't know, I just like it when they do something a little different and edgy, and that's why Camp WWE is fun.
Imagine if this was the network in the 90s, though, and it's like, we're going to bring you a brand new program, Codes for Mortal Kombat.
Man, if it was the WWE network in the 90s, there'd be so much like fucking just tits everywhere over it.
It'd be great. Could finally be some kind of use for Deborah. She was a terrible manager for the most part.
She was pretty fucking useless, right?
Right? All she had was a good set of cans. No arguments. The other thing that actually you guys should check out if you're interested in. What?
She could take a good punch.
Could she? I don't even remember her taking a punch.
No, Austin beat the shit out of her.
Oh, see, they didn't maximize potential for that and put that on the air. That's why I don't remember it. You might as well turn him into an asshole that beats people for a storyline. Why not?
It's interesting that he gets a free pass on that.
Yeah. Especially considering some of the other stuff that people don't get a free pass on.
Like, arguably that... Well, no, definitely. That was better than what freaking... Sorry, that was worse than what Hulk Hogan did.
It was better than...
Yeah, if I could have to retcon that.
Well, they talked about Hulk Hogan a little bit on the Jimmy Hart episode of the Legends with JBL podcast. It's the final episode, and that was a good one. It's actually a good little transition there. They talked. He said, you know, is Hulk Hogan a racist? And he's like, I've never heard him say like any racist thing ever. And you know, black people will come up to Hulk Hogan all the time, and they're just like, hey, can we get a picture and stuff? And he's like, no, it's just probably a shitty day, and he got it on fucking camera, and that kind of a thing. So they are talking a little bit more about Hulk Hogan now. But that was actually a good episode. I don't really care about the music stuff, so when he's talking about meeting Elvis, I don't fucking like Elvis. I know that's like blasphemy to certain people, but I also don't like the Beatles. So
I
fuck
don't.
off either.
Hey, you're in good company, and I'm British, so it's like sacrilege that I don't like the Beatles.
I don't like almost anything about Elvis or the Beatles, and I understand that they're influential and all that, but that doesn't mean I gotta like their music.
And while we're talking about things we hate, Doctor Who, it's fucking dumb.
Oh, that is so fucking dumb. Sonic Screwdriver and those fucking R2D2 looking things are like the main villains with like plungers on. Like, I don't get the like campy for the sake of campy funny stuff. I don't like that crap. But I did enjoy the whole section of this that on the Jimmy Hart thing that they were talking about Andy Kaufman. Because that's so great. Andy Kaufman, I mean, JBL said it himself. He's like, how the hell did he be one of the best heels in professional wrestling history? And it's like, yeah, it's true, man. But Jimmy Hart had another couple of different sets of stories. I'm not going to ruin everything. Seems very humble. Totally an episode that I would watch, like another thing, if they did like another Jimmy Hart behind the scenes sort of a thing. But hey, this is the last Legends with JBL, so we're not going to fucking get that. It's canceled. So I would recommend to check that out. And if you are a fan of Finn Balor, check out that one. If you're not, skip that because that really wasn't worth it. We had some deaths to talk about because we always talk about those. We have 3 of them this week. 4 if you count that we didn't talk about Chavo last week, but I really had nothing to say about Chavo. And I actually don't have too much to say about these 3 all that much. Nicole Bass is technically not dead yet, according to the reports, but she's brain dead and they're going to take her off life support. So, I mean, essentially she is. It's just a matter of, like, you know, getting it notarized, basically. But Ivan Koloff and George the Animal Steele passed away. So they had those little RIP in memoriam things for the 2 of them on this episode. Only a video package for Steele, though. Nothing for Ivan Koloff. But maybe they'll do something on SmackDown or whatever. Any thoughts on Nicole Bass, George the Animal Steele, or Ivan Koloff?
I mean, they're before my time, pretty much well before I was into wrestling. It sucks. I really don't remember much about Nicole Bass. Was she, it's horrible to say this, but I don't know no other way of putting it. Was she the ugly chick that teamed with Val Venus?
I think she might have been. She was the really, really muscular one. Did she team with Val Venus?
Thought she teamed with Val Venus against somebody. I might be totally wrong on that. The Attitude Era was so fucking weird.
Let me look that up real quick. Because I don't remember her doing anything. I just remember her being a giant bodybuilder type.
Anyway, as far as Ivan Koloff goes, I like any of those gimmicks that were just kind of anti-American and it was just nationalist. It's
She
fun.
was the one that teamed with Val Venus, you're right.
It was. It's weird the things you remember them for. But yeah, it sucks that they died. I'm sure a lot of the more historical wrestling fans, your old fogies, will be a little more sad about this.
Yeah, the ones that actually can name an Ivan Koloff match and be like, that was great, the part where he did whatever. And I'm like, that's the guy I always used to get mixed up with, Nikita Koloff. Like, it's the same thing over and over again.
Ditto.
George Animal Steel, though, I actually, like, you know, remember seeing him do some stuff. And
I liked when he came back on that one episode of the Old School Raw and he bit the fucking turnbuckle and had the green tongue and everything again.
yeah, that was a cool gimmick back in the day. You know, I can understand why people are, like, upset about it. I mean, obviously, we don't wish the death upon anybody like that, and our condolences go out to everybody like that. But as far as having, like, you know, a big tribute thing and being like, oh, let's do Superstar scores, George Animal Steel, it's not going to happen. We're not going to get anything out of that. But that does suck to hear that more people died, and it's 3 in a row, man. That was just kind of like Nicole Bass, and then the next day it's like, by the way, R.I.P. George Animal Steel. Then it was like, oh, man, that sucks. Then it's like, by the way, it's like, holy shit. It's going to knock some people out this week, aren't we? Weird. I'm going to send you a picture here that you hadn't seen yet to talk about. This is something on the funnier side. Let's get into more, like, levity. Sasha Banks posted a picture of herself on Twitter with this Maybelline ad. Total gimmick infringement. You've got an attractive black woman with a striking resemblance to Sasha Banks wearing a ring that says boss, and it says lash like a boss.
Oh, it's not loading for me for some reason. Hang on, let me see if I can click the actual tweet. Oh, damn. Yeah, that is pretty fucking,
It's clear that they were influenced by Sasha Banks. Like, there's no argument whatsoever on there. That'd be like making little tiny...
It might be a coincidence, but I don't know.
If they just had Lash Like a Boss and the model, and she wasn't wearing the boss ring, then I would be like, oh, okay, that's just coincidence.
Yeah, but is there a chance that Sasha Banks got that off someone else?
Maybe. I mean, WWE just steal things, but she could have just gotten a couple elements of some other things and kind of mashed them together. Still, it's like, damn it, Maybelline, you know, like, what's the next one gonna be? The next, like, promo they're gonna have for some kind of eyeliner or whatever. It's gonna be like a girl that looks like Bailey, and it's like, this will get you all the hugs or something. You know what I mean? I thought it was a funny little, just sort of like, huh, Maybelline can get away with doing that kind of a stuff. I post up a thing that says, like, boss level, and it doesn't even have anything from WWE related, and they're like, copyright infringement, you can't sell a t-shirt. Like, you know what I mean?
Man, they're fucking scary when it comes to their IPs. They do not like people fucking with them.
Nope, not at all. I just had a couple t-shirts taken down from non-WWE related stuff the other day. Posted them right back up.
Who was it?
I had Lego shirts taken away and everything Sonic the Hedgehog related.
Oh, what the fuck, Sega? You've been ripping us off for years with your shitty games. Let us fucking have some back.
So I just re-uploaded them. I mean, if you want a Stuck in the Friend Zone t-shirt that looks like the Sonic the Hedgehog 1 or Sonic the Hedgehog 2 zone level screens, you can buy them again.
Your Neville level shirt might actually sell now that he started quoting it.
Fucking right. Like, I mean, I don't want to say like, oh, you know, he came across fucking smack talk, stupid ass jokes, but it is kind of weird.
It's
how
funny.
they do this kind of stuff every once in a while. Like, he was hitting that hard for a couple weeks. You're not on the Neville level, and it was like, dude, if you say 77 is the Neville level, it's fucking confirmed. Especially if you say it like
77 billion.
And then you just have Rollins come out, and he's just kind of like, I'm some kind of a cat thing. Like, you know, sewer rat, angry teenager.
Hey, they did have that post on WWE.com.
Yeah, that was not too long after we started making those jokes either. I think I said on the Mega Maniac something like, if Ryback starts doing a travel guide thing, then we know that there's like confirmation of it.
Apparently he just bitches about WWE and John Cena.
Oh, I've stopped reading that stuff now. Every Ryback post on any dirt sheet is always like, Ryback complains that his time in WWE was really shitty and they didn't push him. And it was like, yeah, I know, I fucking get it.
Everyone's like now going, oh, this is what Punk meant.
Oh, Punk's still a jackass, though.
Yeah, but he was fucking right. Ryback is a cock.
It started out as like, oh man, Punk is right. Fight the establishment. And then it was like, I don't know. I kind of want to see Punk get his ass kicked. And it's like, yeah, Ryback would be great to kick his ass. Ryback's right. And it's like, So now I kind of want to see Ryback versus Punk. And they both knock each other out like that Rocky and Creed kind of scenario.
And unless they go to Japan, there's no way they can get that fight legal.
That doesn't have to be legal.
So you basically
just want
to see Ryback beat up CM Punk in a parking lot.
Yeah, kind of. But then I want to see somebody else that, like, who does Ryback not like other than Punk?
Cena.
Well, Cena, yeah. All right, how about Ryback beats the shit out of Punk, and then Cena at the end of the fight, when Ryback's all celebrating, Cena just comes up and hits him with one punch and knocks him out and stands tall. Then you hear the horns going, boo, boo, doo, boo. You know? It'd be great. Sell it at pay-per-view. I'll pay $20 to see it. Why not? And then if Paige is supposed to be getting into MMA now, then the same thing can kind of happen with Paige. Although not John Cena punching her, because then you would have some issues. Speaking of Paige, actually, let's go into that. Thea Trinidad.
Lucky with these fucking segues, dude.
Oh, it's so good. Big old shit-eating grin on my face right now. Thea Trinidad, who you might remember as Rosita from TNA, TNA, or that sexy bee from the, what do they call them again? The Rosebuds. Remember the bee?
I remember AB.
Do you remember CD?
EFG.
How pissed off would you people listening be if we just went through the rest of the alphabet right now?
Should we edit it and go back and do the whole fucking thing?
I was actually tempted to do it, but That'll be the second time that we did not do something that you probably wouldn't have liked on this episode, everybody. We were thinking about, for a minute there, doing the whole episode in Jamaican voices. We would just be like, Thea Trinidad, like, Costa's the Divas Champion in the fighting with me family. Like, you know, that we're not going to do that shit.
And then everyone would be going, wow, Toya, you're a fucking racist.
Well, that's the story that we're going to talk about, though. Thea Trinidad has been cast as, quote, Divas Champion. That's
I was
it.
going to say, cast as a fucking racist.
If that'd be even better. She has been cast as racist Jamaican stereotype. In that Fighting with My Family film about Paige and her fucking family. That's kind of why they're calling it that. So it seems, even though they're not confirming it, she's cast as AJ Lee. Because who would be the Divas Champion in a movie about Paige, right? So what do you think about this? I think it's a little bit weird, but it kind of makes sense. You know, she has at least a somewhat similar build to her. We know that she's a wrestler, so she would be able to actually like do some of the in-ring shit. I don't know about her being an actress, but it's odd to me to see somebody roughly the same age as a wrestler playing another wrestler, and they both, like, it's like not even like one of them is retired or one of them is an actress, or, you know, like any
It's
of that
kind of
stuff.
a bizarre thing, her even having a film this young.
Yeah, because what's the story going to be about her getting knocked up as a kid and being a brat the rest of her life?
Shit, that's a weird. So, I heard The Rock's involved. What level's he involved at?
He's at least a producer, but I think he's supposed to have some kind of a cameo role. So I don't know if he's going to be cameo as The Rock, or if he's going to cameo as, like, I don't know, like a generic trainer for her, or how great
It's The
would it be
Rock.
if
He
he was Vince
has to, if he's
McMahon?
in it, he has to be The Rock. There's no one else he can be.
That'd be great if he was like Triple H.
I
Sort of
am
like
the
puts on a fake
game.
nose and stuff. Yeah, he does.
I will hire you to the WWE.
We're gonna call you Paige. Oh my god, even better. I got it. The Rock cameos as racist Jamaican stereotype.
He'd do it.
He just goes as Kofi Kingston. I would watch that movie so much more.
I wish Kofi would bring that back one night just for lulz.
He did it somewhat recently on something.
In the time machine thing.
No, even after that, it was like a couple
Oh,
weeks
but that
ago
was great.
Up,
No,
Up, Down, Down or
2008
something,
was my
though.
best year.
I think it was Up, Down, Down. I think he did something where he was just kind of like, he brought it out for like a real quick promo or something like that. And they were all, yeah, that was it, because they were all cracking up. I think they were playing Madden at the time.
I don't watch that.
Drop stuff.
I don't watch that show. The last time I saw anything with Xavier Woods gaming is when somebody played against him with a KKK outfit.
I remember that one.
That was so bad. His reaction was like, no, you can't do that. It was so bad.
The last one was Lindsay Dorado on Superstar Save Point. And in the background, Sheamus and Rusev are watching some kind of a soccer game. And Rusev starts talking about how his name on the show is Tong Po, and apparently it's some character in like a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie or whatever. And he's like, oh, I just saw the most recent one and it's terrible and I hate it and I'm so mad and whatever. And he says something like, oh, it's so fucking dumb or whatever. And then he gets this look on his face of like, oh my god, I cursed and I'm in trouble. It's like, you're Rusev. You're supposed to be like this Bulgarian brute and you act like a little toddler that got caught saying the word crap. You know what I mean?
My mom wouldn't give a fuck if I said the word crap. Explains a lot now.
I remember specifically asking permission if I could start cursing when I was a kid. I was like, can I curse now? My mom's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm like old enough that I can curse, right? And she's like, no, you shouldn't curse. And I was like, yeah, but shit is a funny word.
I figured out that my mom would buy me the South Park VHSs if I started reading the titles out loud in the store. Cartman's mom is still a dirty slut.
What's a dildo, Mom? All right, just buy this and just shut up. Don't say anything else. Yeah.
I had her wrapped around my finger as a kid.
There you go. If there's any kids listening to this, that's how you get stuff. Start cursing in the middle of the aisle. But the whole Thea Trinidad thing to me is pretty interesting. That means that at the very least, AJ Lee will pop up. I know that they're supposed to be filming something tonight after Raw or before Raw or whatever like that. So we could see more wrestlers actually as characters in here. And it would be pretty weird if they kind of continued the trend and had like other wrestlers portray those characters. Have like, who was Paige dating other than Del Rio? Oh my god, who would play Del Rio? Holy shit. That'd be hilarious to see.
Ricardo.
Well, he's running a house room or whatever you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else do we have for the hot tags? Oh, this is a funny story. Curt Hawkins was doing an interview recently, and he said that JTG used to hide backstage to avoid having to go out and work. He would just get paid $500 to just hang out backstage, and he kept doing it for like months on end.
That's fucking awesome. That adds so much more to his character. So not only was he just avoiding the phone when it rang so he couldn't get fired. I love that they had to use like an anonymous number to get him.
It's so perfect too, because we were joking for the longest time of like, why haven't they fired JTG yet?
I love that the fucking website that had the timer on it actually had like a memorial podcast of the clock.
That just goes to show you, though, a lot of these things you hear rumors about backstage and stuff, and you joke about, like, oh, JTG's just acting like, well, if they don't see me here, they're not going to fire me. Fucking true.
No, he actually has to go to the Indies and work.
He's probably so pissed about that. Because all he had to do was travel and get paid $500 to sit backstage and do nothing, man.
And occasionally get thrown out of a rumble.
Yeah, as, like, one of the first 3 people thrown out. Hell, I'll do that. We had 2 things talking about WrestleMania announced on this, well, not out on this episode of Monday Night Raw, a little bit beforehand, but we have another induction for inductee for the 2017 Hall of Fame. It's going to be Diamond Dallas Page, and he said that Dusty Rhodes would have been the person that would have inducted him if he had still been around, but it seems like he's probably going to have Jake the Snake induct him at some point, because he was mentioning, like, he's got to be there.
Scott's got to.
Yeah, and between the 2 of them, Jake the Snake trained him, so it makes more sense for that. But
it also makes sense for Austin to do it because him and Steve lived together for a while.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. He was talking about Kimberly Page being there too, like that they went to each other's like new weddings and stuff like that. Like they're still really close and everything. So kind of looking forward to seeing Kimberly Page because I haven't seen her in a while, and she was gorgeous. But
this is a great induction. He deserves it. Even if he never had a wrestling career, he would have deserved it alone for his work with Scott and Jake. But he's had a hell of a career too. He was a WCW champion. He got over legit, even though he wasn't the best worker.
And he was pretty old to do it too.
Yeah, and he got arguably Goldberg's best match.
He had a shitty run in WWE, but I mean,
WWE
really
totally misused him. I think he was capable of a lot more. But
yeah,
you never know.
That whole gimmick that he had was totally not him. They should have just had him come out as DDP.
It sounds like he had a lot of hate from him from the start. Apparently Undertaker did not like him.
And then they still put them together in a feud? That's kind of weird.
Well, apparently, and again, this is just shit I'm reading. There's 2 people that Undertaker didn't like backstage, and that was The Big Show and DDP.
Really? The Big Show?
Yeah, and the Big Show one I know is true because he's even said it in a Landsberg interview. But yeah, he had a problem with DDP and Big Show, and I don't remember who said it, but they said basically the reason DDP got fucked over was because he was small enough for Undertaker to do something about it. I don't know if that's got any validity to it, but that's what's gone around.
Well, they mishandled a lot of people during that time, so
it was a lot of new talents and a lot of big egos coming in, and then they had to make room for the actual real stars to come in.
Yeah, they're like, well, the Booker T guy seems like he's going to go somewhere, but we don't really think we're going to push this Gregory Helms kid for a while. With this Buff Bagwell fucker.
Oh god, Buff, what a flop.
He had the stuff.
Apparently not.
Yeah, not even according to our Superstar scores.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He didn't do very well at all.
I like the idea that DDP's going in the Hall of Fame, though. I think he makes perfect sense. And, like, why not this year? It's nothing like they need to start catering to a certain town or, like, well, let's wait until later to get him in there. Like, nah, he's cool. Like, DDP
What's
was
the
one of my favorite
current
guys in WCW back in the day.
What's the current lineup for the Hall of Fame? I think it's a pretty decent one.
We've got Teddy Long, which
That's a decent one. He's
I'm
had,
on
you
board
know
with
what?
that.
He's been like a manager, a referee, general manager. He's done a lot of things.
All over the place, yeah. We got Kurt Angle, which of course makes
Yeah, obvious,
perfect
deserving
sense.
candidate.
DDP, and I think the only other names that they've announced so far are Rock and Roll Express.
So all of those are deservings. That's one of their best lineups they've ever had.
Now, I kind of don't give two shits about the Rock and Roll Express, but
to a lot of people, they are a huge deal.
It's one of those things, yeah, where it's like,
and
that's
to that
different
territory,
era.
it was a huge deal. So
yeah, I can see them going in.
They deserve it.
And we've heard rumors about a whole bunch of different things, and I'm assuming that the vast majority of them aren't going to come true. Like, IRS was being thrown out there, Christian was being thrown out there. We know we're going to have at least one woman, and we need at least one person for the Warrior Award. But
I wouldn't put a woman in there unless there's one that deserves it. And to be quite honest, I don't know who you'd put in. I didn't think Jacqueline belonged in there.
I would say you got Sable should go in there.
Fair.
Victoria should go in at some point.
Debatable. She was just another woman on the roster. Trish and Lita are the only real big ones out of that.
I wouldn't be opposed to Ivory going in.
Maybe. That one I could see an argument for. She really was the standout during that Attitude Era.
A lot of other people are kind of like, you can wait. Like, Beth Phoenix doesn't need to go in now. Michelle McCool doesn't need to go in now. Some of the other people don't need to go in at all.
The thing is, generally, I don't think I'd put a lot of those women in the Hall of Fame because we've criticized women's wrestling for years upon years upon years, and it's just because of the low quality. They were just the ones that were the least shit for the most part. There was a few ones that were real good, like your Beth Phoenix, but there was just a lot of average.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think they're going to be clamoring to be like putting Maria in there or.
When I think a lot of those divas, when I think about those divas, for the most part, I'm like, your title really wasn't anything other than just like a cruiserweight level title. It was just a low card title.
Oh, you know, another person that you can wait a little bit on, but I think eventually should go in is Melina. Years from now.
Is Regal in yet?
Who?
Regal.
Oh, Regal? No, he's not in there yet, but he should be.
He should be in there twice.
JBL should be. I mean, there's so many people. There's a whole laundry list, but
Triple H, but I don't think him and Vince are going to go in for a while.
No. Especially Triple H. He's going to wait a long, long time. Vince, I could see Vince maybe in a couple of years. He's very slowing down.
They should do something special for Vince where they just surprise induct him.
What, like last minute on the...
At the ceremony, thing? Yeah.
And then he's just kind of like, oh, you fuckers.
Yeah, they won't be able to do fucking... He won't be able to do jack shit about it.
I don't like this shit. I'd be down with that. Austin comes out and stuns him. That'd be great. The other thing that has been announced for WrestleMania is the New Day are going to be hosting WrestleMania, which they're taking that in stride. I'll give them, their promo that they cut and their little segment that they did at TMZ was all like, oh, we're so excited. We're going to be the hosts of WrestleMania. First thing I thought of was if I was them, I'd be like, whoa, you mean I'm not going to get a match? Because that's basically what they're saying. It's like, yeah, we don't know really how we want to utilize you, but we like you. And we think that you could be good for a couple of backstage segments and stuff like that, but we don't really want to give you the tag titles right now. If we don't, you're just going to be thrown in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and that kind of sucks. So let's just do Budio stuff,
This is probably the best role for them. I mean, does anyone remember the fucking match that they had? No, they didn't give a shit about it. Everyone remembered the entrances. Well, give them their funny, stupid entrances and let them cut their promo, which could be terrible or great, depending on the night, and let them be on their way.
I'm down with it. I still like the New Day a whole lot. I still want my ice cream.
I'd rather try
Budios because I'm not going to spend $40 for a fucking box of cereal like Drew did.
You fucking idiot. No, he didn't even get the cereal. He got the empty box of the fucking shirt, that jackass.
Oh, man. I do kind of want cereal right now, though. I got some Cinnamon Toast Crunch I might just down a whole bunch of.
For some reason, I think Budios are stale as fuck.
I could see them being stale.
They're just like old ass Cheerios, different package.
There's just miscellaneous things from different cereals that kids don't want, like the cereal part of Lucky Charms and stuff. Just kind of like, throw it in the vat. They're like, well, this is from 4 years ago. Who cares?
Ooh, cookie crisp. Well,
Not a
by the
fan.
way, that's like the ultimate moment America got fat. They're just like, fuck it, let's just throw cookies in the cereal.
No, I'll one up you. When I was a kid, I tried Cookie Crisp a bunch of different times, hoping that it would taste like cookies, and it sucks. Not a good cereal. So one day when I was a kid, I was like, fuck this. You know those little Enemans cookies?
Yeah.
Took a whole bunch of those, a big ass bowl, poured some milk, just sat there and ate it. Just, I was like, I'm making my own fucking Cookie Crisp, and it was delicious. It's just a big
So you had
bowl
cookies and
of
milk in a very
cookies and
awkward way.
milk. Yeah. But it's infinitely better and horrible for you because at that point you're just eating a whole box of fucking cookies. And damn it, now I want some cookies. I think I have Milano cookies. Maybe I'm gonna eat a whole bunch of fucking Milano cookies and send
And
it to
Tony
his
got
friend.
type 2 diabetes that day.
Type 3. I'm one step ahead. Is that worse or better?
I have no idea. I should
I don't
know.
know.
My dad has diabetes.
As long as I don't get the beatus, then it's okay.
It's funny, my family was going to my dad forever. You're acting like a miserable cunt. You've got diabetes. I don't have fucking diabetes. And then he had diabetes, and everyone was like, yeah, told you had diabetes.
I'm just imagining the kind of stuff that, like, like if you've got like a little kid and it's like, you're only crying because you're cranky because you're tired. And it's like, I'm not tired. And then they
Yeah,
fall
it was
asleep.
like that.
It's like, I don't have diabetes.
I don't fucking have diabetes. Shut the fuck up.
Here, eat this. It'll keep your insulin levels up. I'm not fucking. And then takes a bite. I'm sorry I yelled.
Actually, this is how fucking, like, you can see where I get all my evilness from. My mom was like doing that thing where he spikes his finger to check his blood levels.
Yeah.
Well, you can like put it on a higher setting where it hurts more. She did it for lols.
And it's like, ow, that hurt. And it's like, that didn't hurt. You're just pissy because you got diabetes. I don't have diabetes. And it starts the whole fucking argument all over again. I don't have diabetes. Give me my cookie cereal.
Every time I expose a little more about my past, I think people go, oh.
They probably go, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why he's that way.
Alrighty, guys. Well, those are the hot tags for the week. Make sure you leave your comments below. Tell us what you got going on with any of your opinions about whatever those are. And since this is Monday, that means the next thing you guys are going to be seeing is the Ask Him, which might be up Tuesday. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it a day ahead of time. Then we're going to do, well, I don't know yet what the one that's going to be happening, the third thing this week, because I'm going to try to do a bracketology thing for the Smark Madness tournament, but I might wait to do that. I don't really know. Either way, we're going to have heel or face Chris Jericho. It's going to be showing up at some point this week, probably Friday. And that's going to be like our main event. Another thing to keep your eyes on is Saturday and Sunday from noon to noon Eastern time zone is the 4th annual gaming marathon that we do for the whole Fanboys Anonymous and Dace Man show and all that. So you can watch us for 24 hours straight playing video games. We're going to do... where I think we're starting off the way that we normally do, which is Twisted Metal, where usually it's me and Gibby, and we fail miserably, because that game's fucking hard. And, we're probably going to play some WWE games in the middle of it. We're for damn sure going to be doing our arcade block, where we do The Simpsons, and we do the X-Men game. You ever play those games back in the day?
No, that wasn't my scene.
Those games were so good, especially the X-Men one, because if you're Colossus, you can just, like, wipe out the whole screen in, like, 2 seconds. And he just goes, bah! It's so fucking great. But that's going on. So if you guys want to donate, go to fanboysanonymous.com. It's, I think, the front page right now. And if you want to just check us out during that kind of stuff, it's going to be like 2 or 3 screens actually running during that. Those are my plugs, but Wago, what do you got to plug?
All right, if you want to keep following what I'm doing and what projects I might be up to, you can follow me at Stephen Wago on Twitter. Stephen spelled with a PH. Wago is W-A-G-O. Well, you're going to send me money. That'd be pretty cool.
And if you're in the mood to send money, you could always send some money to me, too. I mean, I'm a charity case.
I asked first.
I'm not saying that they shouldn't send it to you. They should just send it to both of us.
Yeah, and then we can use it to not feed that guy's kids.
All right, guys, that's it. As I mentioned before, leave your comments below. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Keep checking out smarkoutmoment.com for anything else coming your way. And we will see you next time. This has been another Smark Out Moment, and we're being counted out.